Hey, it's Kevin, another movie for you guys, and in this movie reviewing, I really did not know too much about this movie, I have to say. I only really knew a few things about it, mainly that this was a Netflix original movie, and that alone made me very excited because I really like what Netflix has put out so far. And that is the new Netflix original film, Tallulah. I really, like I said, really didn't know much about this. I mean, I heard about it, and I didn't really know. I didn't watch a trailer or anything. I kind of just wanted to go in not knowing a lot. And I was going to watch this when I watched Risky Business, but I just, for whatever reason, wasn't in the mood, and I finally watched it now. And, like I said, having gone into it knowing nothing, I really love this film. I think Tallulah is a fantastic movie. It's a lot different than I thought it was going to be, but I really did love it. I thought it was a really great movie, and probably one of the best I've seen so far this year. I really enjoyed it, and definitely very underrated. Not really hearing a lot of people talking about, but let's get to the plot of Tallulah, because I really do love the plot here. Now, the plot of this movie has the makings of a Lifetime movie, but it's much different than you think, because we focus on this girl named Tallulah, played by Ellen Page, and she basically she's very free-spirited and everything, and she ends up meeting this mother who, played by Tammy Blanchard, who you can tell very quickly, doesn't really pay much attention to her baby. She lets her baby run around the house naked. She treats her baby like like you would a regular child that knows better, and she's smoking a lot and things like that, and she just doesn't feel that this mother is equipped to have a child. She feels she's very unfit, and she ends up actually kidnapping the baby because she feels that she'd be better suited for the baby. And not only does she kidnap the baby, she takes the baby to her ex-boyfriend's estranged mother, and things get even more complicated when she tells her estranged mother that the baby is actually hers. And that basically is the plot of Tallulah. I really enjoyed this movie. The movie, like I said, the plot sounds like very been there, done that, but there's a lot more to this movie than you think. That's something I definitely really did enjoy. The thing that makes this movie so great, by far, is the cast. I think the cast really here is fantastic. You really have a subject here that could come across as very cliche and very dumb, but because the cast here, they really do a great job. Specifically, Ellen Page, who blew me away in this movie. I mean, I've seen her movies before. She really is fantastic, but she was amazing in this movie as this character as Tallulah. I mean, this is a girl who, she is very free-spirited, but she's going through a lot of shit in her life. You definitely do see that, and you can see how she really wants to take care of this baby, and even though you know that what she's doing is wrong, you definitely can condone what she's doing. You understand why she wants to take care of this baby, you understand why she wants this baby, and even though she doesn't really know what she's doing, you really are rooting for her. You want her to be able to root this baby, you want her to be able to take care of this baby, you want her to be able to have a genuine relation with this baby, and she really just gave an incredible performance, and especially in the last act of this movie, she has this one scene towards the end, and it's just incredible. I really thought she was amazing, and she really did a great job. She really is just really impressing me. And then Allison Janney in this movie as well, this character of Margot, I really loved her character. She's another woman that she's going through a lot. She's going through a divorce, and we don't really know why. And once we find out why she's going through this divorce, I thought was even better when we found out what was going on, because a lot of these characters are hiding a lot about their past, and Margot especially. I mean, this is a character that is hiding a lot, and again, even though you know what Tallulah is doing, it's not actually her baby, you really are rooting for them. You really love this relationship, and you really very quickly really invest in their relationship, and they have a really good relationship. You can tell that these two, they don't really talk a lot, but they really do develop a relationship from this movie. I like the way that Margot was kind of like a motherly figure toward Tallulah. I thought that was very well done. I really loved the relationship overall, and they just had some really great scenes together. I think they just worked really well. I really love what they did in this movie, and I think they both were just fantastic. I really loved both of their characters. I really could get behind them very well, and I could very much, you could definitely relate to their characters a lot. I think their characters are very, very well done, and I really did enjoy what they had to do here. And then Evan Jonikeet plays Nico, Tallulah's boyfriend, and he also is a very interesting character because there's a reason, in the very beginning of this movie, he leaves her, and we don't know why, and we see all the events kind of leading up to that. I thought they did a good job with putting flashbacks in here. I thought that definitely was very well done. one of the characters I didn't really think I was gonna like, but actually really did end up loving, and probably honestly my favorite character in the movie, is by far Tammy Blanchard as Carolyn. Now, I've seen Tammy Blanchard before. I think she's a very good actress, but I haven't really seen her in a movie like this, and she blew me away. I mean, she's just incredible in this movie. I loved her character, because this is a character that you very much could hate in the very beginning of the movie. I mean, you very much hate her. She's very casual. She doesn't really seem to care she is a child. She really is just a very unfit mother. She's bringing men and sleeping with them. I mean, she's doing pretty much every wrong act you could think of a mother is doing, she pretty much does. And she also is, like, way too, forward. The second she sees Tallulah, she's, like, kissing her. I mean, it's very strange, but she has a past, and that's something I like that we really saw. We really do get into her past. We see why she has the life she does. We see why she has this baby, and there's this incredible scene where she just starts to unravel toward the end of the film, and it's just an incredible scene. I absolutely loved it. It might be my favorite scene in this entire movie. I love what she did. I thought she really was incredible. Uzo Aduba also has a very good role in this movie. I thought everyone really did a great job besides her, but Tammy Blanchard, Ellen Page, and Allison Janney, they really do anchor this movie. We're really focusing on these three women, the lives of these three women, all centered around one plot and all really connecting together, but it really is about these three women and how different they are, the different circumstances they have to go through, and really the consequences of all of their actions. I think it's something the movie presented very well. So like I said, the cast is fantastic. Everyone really did a fantastic job. But as good as the cast is, I think the cast really here is fantastic. The directing here by Sion Heder, I really did love, because he took a concept that is very overly familiar. I mean, I've seen this concept so many times in so many different movies, but he somehow made original. The tone here is very melancholy, and the tone here is also kind of hopeful too. It's not a depressing film in any way, but it's not exactly a hopeful film either, definitely. I mean, you're definitely rooting for them to take care of this baby, but at the same time, you know what they're doing is wrong. But something I think they did very well, that Sion Heder did in the screenplay, is really get us to understand all of these characters. We really understand why they're making the choices that they do. We really understand why they are the way they are, and I really did love that. And there's so much this movie really has to say about, responsibilities, and really what responsibility is all about, and, are we really ready to go through that stage in our life and take care of a baby? What does that really mean? What is it like take care of another human being? I mean, that's stuff that I think the movie just covered really well. There are some really great scenes between Ellen Page and Allison Janney where they talk about, actually just all their past and everything. I just thought it was a very well done scene, and I really did get into this movie. I really did get into all their lives very well. I thought all their lives were just really interesting, what they did here. I really did love that. I thought the screenplay was really interesting. It's also quite funny. There's some really funny moments here, because Margot and Tallulah are very different women, and there's some really great scenes between them. I mean, they're very unexpected, helping each other out, but they create a very genuine relationship, and it's honestly very sweet, and there are some very sweet moments in this movie. Something I was very surprised about is that the movie's never unpredictable. I mean, you never really know where the movie's gonna go. I mean, you kind of do, but at the same time, you don't. Where the movie ends is not at all the way the movie thought it was going to end. I was actually very surprised with that. I was actually very impressed that they did that. I liked that it didn't end the way it was going to end, because I'm like, oh, I know how this is going to end, and it really didn't end that way at all, and I'm happy that they didn't do that. The other thing I really did love about this movie, though, I think is the different directions that, like I said, they took everything in. I thought was fantastic. I thought that was very well done. But something that really surprised me was the cinematography. There's a lot of symbolism in this movie that I really wasn't expecting, such as something like a lake, or very early in the movie, Tallulah has this dream, and then that goes into the rest of the movie. That's something I didn't really expect. I expected this to be a very much like, oh, you know where this is going to go, but you really don't. They really put a lot more into this than I thought, and while this movie is essentially about taking care of a baby, I don't really think it's about that. It's more about choices and the negative and the consequences that one has with said choices, and what really goes into all that. I thought it was really well done. I really did love that, and the screenplay in general. I mean, the story is really interesting, honestly. I really did get into the story. They went some really great directions with it, and it does get heavily dramatic towards the end, but it's never too dramatic in the sense where you can't take it seriously. It's never too heavy, and I think they had a really nice balance between those two things. The score here I thought was very fine. And, you know, score's fine, not really too much too, but I thought the score was really good. The editing, this movie really flew by for me. It's almost 2 hours long, but it really did fly by. I was into it almost the entire time. I thought the editing really was fantastic, and I really can't think of many problems I have with this movie, to be honest with you. I mean, I can't really... My only problem with this movie, I'd say, is that I thought the beginning was just a little bit too meandering. It's kind of just getting us into these women's lives. I get that, but I just wasn't exactly into the story until the story actually set up, until we met Tammy Blanchard's character. That's when I really started to get into it. Before, I was kind of like, I don't really know how this is going to be. It just seems kind of like an indie film, and I don't have a problem with indie films, but it just kind of seemed very meandering and like not much was happening. But then once Tammy Blanchard's character enters, then I was completely loving the movie. I thought it was great from then, from then, and I loved it after that. But that's really my only problem, is the beginning. I think it's just, it takes a while to get going. That's really my only problem, is that it takes a while to get going. I think the movie is a bit slow at points, but the scenes that are slow, they're not boring. They're still very interesting, and I do think there are some points where the movie does stop a little bit. This is also one of those movies where they really, like I said, do get in depth with all these characters, and there are some very surprising plot twists that I really love, and I thought were really well handled, especially involving Allison Janney's life. There's a lot we don't know about her. There's a specific reason why she's getting a divorce, and when you, like I said, when you find out what that is, it's very interesting. And there's some cameos in here as well that I don't want to give away, but that I really did appreciate. I really thought was very well done, and that's something else I really did enjoy. So overall, guys, I really did love Tallulah. I think it's one of the best movies of this year, without a doubt, that I've seen so far. I really wasn't expecting much going into it, even though it was a Netflix movie. They really haven't impressed me, they really have impressed me so far. So I didn't really have many expectations, except I thought I was really going to love it, and I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. In fact, this is probably right next to Beast of No Nation for my favorite Netflix movie they put out so far. I think Beast of No Nation, then Tallulah. That's probably how I would organize it. I highly recommend you guys check it out. I really do think everyone can enjoy this, and I'm definitely going to give Tallulah a 4.5 out of 5 or an A. I really do love this movie. It takes a subject, like I said, that's very cliche and very been there, done that, and somehow makes it original. It makes it a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I had no idea where it was going, and that's one of the reasons why the movie's so great. But it's also very heartwarming, and it has a really nice story, and especially toward the end. I didn't know the ending was going to end up in the way it did, and that's something else that I really enjoyed, as well as deep symbolism that I think really made this movie as good as it was. So that's it, my review to Tallulah. I know what you guys thought of this movie. Have seen. I'm really looking forward to The Little Prince next week. That's the next Netflix movie. I've been looking forward to that for so long. Also, look forward to my August movie preview tomorrow. That's going to be up, so definitely look forward to that. That will be up by tomorrow if you guys are wondering. But let me know what you guys thought of this movie. Have seen. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this movie, actually. I've heard some people talk about it, but not really a lot. It seems like it's going to be one of those movies that I'm sure is going to get more popular as it goes on. Is this a movie that's going to win awards? No. I'm going to say it right off the bat, it's not winning awards, but I still really enjoy it. I thought it was a really great movie, and I really loved it overall. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie. Have seen. Love to hear your thoughts on it. We'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for another movie review, and we'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.